comes a highwaywoman. She comes with music for your soul, and then moves along. She moves along.
And if you're just joining us, this is Bridget London. You're listening to the Highwaywoman radio show. And right now, I have with me on the phone my special guest this show, Mr. Ronnie Hymes. And he's going to be talking about his new record, Just a Working Man, his music, and some other stuff. So looking forward to that. Hey, Ronnie.
Hey, how we doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
This is our first show of 2013, so thanks for being our first guest of the new year.
Well, it's great to be here. It's great to be anywhere, but it's definitely great to be here.
That's right. Now, you're in North Carolina, and you've been living there most of your life, right? You were born in Virginia?
Yes, ma'am, that's true.
Now, how long you been playing music? Tell us a little bit about how you got started in music.
I started taking piano lessons at the age of around 6 or 7, first grade, second grade. I hated it. Every summer, the phone would ring. I'd hear my mom talking real loud. Well, hi, Sister Antoinette. And I'd come running in the kitchen, well, I don't know. Let me ask him. Ronnie, do you want to take piano lessons this year? And I'd be going, no, Mom, no. He said he'd love to. He can't wait, So, but yeah, and then finally, at the age of 10, I switched to guitar. And so been playing the guitar ever since. But yeah, I've just always been around music that I can remember. So
very cool. And when did you start writing songs?
I probably started writing songs when I was 14, 15 years old. That's when I first joined a band. There was like a high school band down the street. Of course, I was younger than everybody else, but I was hanging around, and they let me play a couple songs with them, and started writing a few songs back then. So.
And this is your new album, Just a Working Man, but you also released another album that was kind of your debut album after your EP.
That was unincorporated.
That's great. And now this new one, Just a Working Man, did you record that in North Carolina? Yeah,
I did. I have a home studio. I actually recorded both of them at. I just like the fact that I can do it myself. We had a little bit of help on the new record. I asked J.B. Beverly to mix it and master it for me, and he was glad to do that. And he's also made a guest appearance on the record as well. But yeah, I just like being able to do it kind of at my own pace. What's really interesting on this record is that we were kind of on a time crunch, and we were trying to get the record done, like not too quick, but we were trying to get the record done before summertime. And so a lot of the songs, probably I'd say at least 5 or 6 of the songs were actually penned just minutes before we recorded them. We'd have a recording session time set up, and the guys would show up. I'd say, just give me 5 minutes, and I'm just about finished with this song. And, write the last couple of lines or two, and then we'd sit there and play it and work it out and record it all in the same night. And, there was a lot of 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning nights. Like I said, a lot of the songs on the new record were written right on the fly. So.
Very cool. That's pure art in its form, if you ask me. I like that a lot. A lot of times people go over stuff over and over and over stuff, and sometimes I think it kills the aliveness of it, and your record definitely has that live, authentic feel to it. How about let's play the title track, Just a Working Man, for everybody.
Let's do that, yes.
All right, this is Ronnie Hymes, folks, with Just a Working Man.
Pittsburgh and D.C. But I'm just a working man, support my family, do all I can. Work in a factory with no sunlight, play my guitar on Friday nights, make making music is what I had planned, but the foreman, he don't understand. I'm just a working man for now.
And that was the title track to my special guest this week, Ronnie Hymes' new album, Just a Working Man. And we're playing some cuts from that and talking with Ronnie about his music. Now, Ronnie, are you touring outside of North Carolina right now, or are you staying close to home?
Right now, I picked up a gig at a local bar as a house band. I'm doing like 3 nights a week down there. But I'm planning on going back out, doing some regional touring, hopefully around the spring. But I don't know, we'll see. I mean, the economy's so bad that it's just hard to...
It is, yeah.
I mean, I don't, I don't mind not making money, but when, at the end of the day, after you pay the band and you pay for gas and food and hotel, and then you start digging into your pocket, I mean, I don't like to have to pay to play, so,
right.
Yeah, so, but yeah, so we'll see. I mean, I get people write me all the time, hey, when you coming back to Kentucky? When you coming back to New York? Well, I mean, I want to. I'm on my way. I'm trying to figure it out, but it's just a little hard right now. So
yeah, and I think everybody identifies with that, and it seems like it doesn't matter where a person is in their career, they're experiencing, the same things. There are a lot of acts that have had a lot of hits, and for years that are now playing with no band, going out solo because they can barely afford that. It's the way the economy is, and, we want to encourage all our listeners, wherever they live, wherever they're at, to go out and listen to live music. And that's great that you're playing locally. What's the name of the place you're playing locally?
Maverick Saloon. It's an old time honky tonk. I mean, there ain't many. I haven't been in many places like this. They don't play the new country stuff. They play a lot of the old, 70s and 80s country.
Cool.
And yeah, and they really dig, what I'm doing. And it's kind of odd because with the music scene that we're in right now, it seems like we don't really play country venues. I mean, we play music halls or any place that has live music. It might be a rock and roll club or whatever, This is a real honky tonk. And so, yeah, I'm really enjoying it.
Are you going to be doing that all of 2013 for a while, or?
Yeah, I'm probably going to keep the gig as long as I don't get fired.
We'll have to tell people if they're coming through. What town is that in, Ronnie?
It's in Fayetteville, North Carolina. It's around Fort Bragg, a little about an hour south of Raleigh, about 2 hours north of Charlotte. So
Fayetteville, North Carolina, Maverick Saloon. All right, we got to make note of that. Now, why don't you pick a cut from this new album for us to play and maybe tell us a little bit about it?
Probably my favorite song on the record is the Homestay Line. It was co-written with a good friend of mine, Chris Carter, out in Tracy, California. We've wrote several songs together. He sent me the first verse to that song and said, man, I got this song. I can't really do nothing with it. See what you can do with it. So I kind of put my little spin on it, wrote the last couple of verses, and finished it up. A feel-good kind of song to me. Well, I mean, of course, I'm trying to tell everybody when we're recording it, don't make it sound so happy, make it sound lonely. But it's just I can really feel the song, like being out on the road, or, I think a lot of people can relate to it, just being away from home and missing their family or whatever, so it's just a really good song.
All right, let's play it. This is Ronnie Hymes, folks, with Home State Line.
This road is my companion, and I know I'm not alone. Till I reach my destination, this old highway's where I'll roam. And I gotta keep rolling, got 1,000 miles to burn. Can't make no money if them wheels don't turn. And I'll find my peace of mind when I hit that home state line.
And that was Home State Line from our special guest here on the Highwaywoman radio show. If you're just joining us, this is Bridget London, and that was Ronnie Hymes again with Home State Line. He's got a new record out called Just a Working Man. Want y'all to pick up that, and his previous record, Unincorporated, as well. Now, you mentioned that you did some work with J.B. Beverly. Didn't he join you on I'm Bitter?
He sure did.
Tell us a little bit about how you guys connected.
We met through a mutual friend of ours. And I want to say that we wrote that song within a day or two of us first meeting. We were actually sitting at my kitchen table, and it was probably 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and we were doing our best to polish off a bottle of Maker's Mark. And we were just at the bottom of the bottle, and anyway, we're in mid-conversation. JB gets this wild look in his eye, and he jumps up off the chair, and he says, "Man, give me a pen." So he writes the chorus. You know, he starts telling me what he's got in mind, like an old-timey church, you know, gospel kind of feel to it. So we wrote the song that night, and got up about the crack of 3 the next day and recorded it. Within 24 hours, it was down on tape. So yeah, that's another good, you know, I mean, another one of those on the fly kind of songs. You know what I mean? So.
I love it. I love it. Let's play it.
I always thought I was a gentleman. I always tried to understand, but I'm bitter. Please forgive me, Lord, I'm bitter. I played the game of love and lost, then they went and changed the cost. I'm bitter. Please forgive me, Lord, I'm bitter. Loyalty.
And that was I'm Bitter from Ronnie Hymes, our special guest here on the Highwaywoman radio show, a track from his new album, Just a Workin' Man. So, Ronnie, you know, you did one of my favorite, well, of course, I always say that because every Waylon song is my favorite. But you did a Waylon song on your record, which, of course, endeared me to you if I hadn't already really liked your music. You know, besides Waylon, who are some of you think the biggest influences on your music, and why? I mean, who do you feel deep down in your soul that really gets you?
Yeah, of course, Waylon. I think my music, I'd have to say, you know, Charlie Daniels, Steve Earle, those are like really big music influences on me because they're not specifically country. They're not really rock and roll. They're not really blues. It's kind of got the whole thing into it. And that's kind of where I'm at with my music. I mean, I've been writing the same songs, you know, like I said, since I was 14, the same type of songs. And it didn't matter if I was in a rock and roll band or if I was in a folk band for a while and I was in an acoustic band for a while. I mean, it didn't matter what kind of music I was playing. All the songs came out the same. And I think that's kind of where I relate in that picture. It's kind of like if you listen to my stuff, you hear the blues and you hear the, you know, the country and you hear the rock and roll and you hear the, you know, just a little bit of everything. And it's just what comes out, you know, so.
What do you want people most to get from your music? Like when you make your music, what's the most important thing for those that hear it? What do you wish for in that aspect of things?
I just try to be honest, sing songs about my life or what I can relate to, or I think people relate to that in itself. I mean, people tell me all the time, man, I listened to this song and wow, you know, and that just blows me away because it's something that is a part of my life. I'm kind of putting it out there, and then you know, so and then somebody else can relate to it. So it just makes you feel good. But yeah, I just try to be honest and down to earth. Try not to overdo it. You know.
Well, I think that's probably why we like your music so much. You know, you really know how to. Yeah, and I think it's great, and I'm excited to debut here on the show, and I hope you'll come back again and join.
Oh, definitely.
You know? And if you ever come to Texas. Make sure you stop by Lukenbach Way.
I'll do it. In fact, I'm planning on coming down sometime maybe this summer for a visit. I have several friends that live down there, and keep telling them I'm coming. So, but yeah, I'm planning on coming down. You know, Lucky Tub is from down, you know, around Austin Way, and then Casey Gill's a good friend of mine, and Willow and Gage, you know, and I have some other friends down there. Yeah, Will, yeah. Oh, yeah, me and Will. I went on tour with, Will and Casey backed me up for a while, you know. So yeah, I love those guys, man. So yeah, I keep telling them I'm coming, you know. But
very cool, very cool. It's a small world after all, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
You know, I think this is really great having you on the show here and going to be playing your music all the time. I want to tell people they can get your album now at all digital retailers, right, Ronnie?
That's right, yep.
And your website, why don't you give that out for everybody?
My website, www.ronniehymes.com. You can, that's where you're going to purchase your hard copies. You know, if you want a hard copy of the CD, you have to get it there. And T-shirts, and we have some other stuff coming, merchandise coming. I just ordered some some jerseys. They should be on the website here in the next week or so. But yeah, digital, you can get it any digital outlet, iTunes, Amazon, CD Baby.
And you're on Facebook?
Definitely on Facebook. I believe I actually have a couple pages on there. I have one that I try to keep for like my personal page, and then it's under Ronnie Hymes, and then I have another Ronnie Hymes that I try to steer towards the band stuff, and then we also have a band page, the Ronnie Hymes and Carolina Freight band page. But
that's right, Ronnie Hymes and Carolina Freight. I want to spell Hymes Hymes, folks, for those of you out there listening. If you want to get out your little Google and search up Ronnie, find out more about his music, and of course, make sure you pick up a copy of Just a Working Man. And anything else you want to share with our listeners, Ronnie?
I'm just so honored to be on the show. I mean, I'm a big fan. I've heard about your show through a lot of friends of mine, Billy Don Burns, and and I'm just glad to be here. So I'll come back anytime.
Awesome. Well, we hope you do, and I'm thank you for being on the show. I love your music, Ronnie, and hopefully we'll get together. Maybe we'll play a show together one day.
I'd love to do it. I'd love to do it. Yeah.
So, of course, I think you probably know where I'm headed. I kind of want to go out with Shine. What do you think?
We can do it. Yeah.
I love it. I thought this was great. I love it. Tell me a little bit about doing it and why you picked Shine.
Well, that's I wanted to do. Wailing is, of course, I know everybody talks about wailing, but I mean that's where I grew up, and my dad was the big Waylon Jennings fan, and so I wanted to do something that he wrote, and we know he didn't write a lot of his songs he didn't write, but I wanted to do something that he wrote, not a lot of people have covered, and so I went through all his songs, and when I came across Shine, I thought, wow, man, this is it right here, because it kind of ties the whole record together, the lyrics of the song, and it kind of ties the whole record together and kind of explains where I'm at, and so yeah, and I love playing it live too, so that's why we picked Shine.
Yeah, I think it's wonderful. I love it a lot. Really, really glad to meet you, Ronnie. Glad to have you on the show. Thanks for being here, man.
No problem. It's the pleasure is all mine, really.
And we're going to go on out of here with Ronnie's version of Shine. I think that's the only cover you did on the album, isn't it?
That's true, yes, ma'am.
And the album, once again, folks, is called Just a Working Man. That's Ronnie Hymes, Hymes. Look him up, get a copy of the record, and go see him if you head through North Carolina or if he heads through your way. Ain't that right?
Right on.
Thank you, Ronnie.
Thank you very much.
It's to the ones who do believe and disbelieve somehow. I'd give $100, Lord, if they could see me now. See me shine. Shine, shine, shine. See me shine. A little luck and a greenback dollar, you gonna see me shine.
Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Bridget London, and this has been the Highwaywoman Radio Show.
Now there she goes, the highwaywoman, and she's brought music to your soul and moves along. She moves along.